Welcome to the Lee Etzler Show, a weekly wrap-up and analysis of Churubusco High School Football.
Eagles, what is your profession? Out.
And now your host, Big Daddy Don Hyatt.
Hi, welcome to the Lee Etzler Show. I'm Dave Crable, sitting in for Don Hyatt. Coach will be here soon to talk with us about the Eagles' fourth consecutive conference championship by defeating Lakeland 38-16 last Friday at home. He'll also talk about the upcoming sectional battle against Oak Hill, and later Joe Zumbrun will join us to tell us about his time he spent with the Eagles. So stick around, we'll be right back after this.
I lost my job and I needed help with different things like prescriptions and energy assistance and stuff. So I contacted United Way. They was the first ones that I could think of. And I went to the agencies that they gave me a list of and got the assistance that I needed from them. Because I received the help from United Way, then I'm volunteering my help out to the community, giving the help that they need.
Hey football fans, do you want to keep track of Churubusco High School football games? Log on to busconews.com every game day and watch up-to-the-minute pregame, halftime, and postgame interviews with head coach Lee Etzler. Stay connected with your computer or on your cell phone. busconews.com. When you can't make it to the game, it's the next best thing to being there.
Hi, welcome back to the show, Coach. Just a tremendous win for the kids and a good win for the program here at Busco.
Yeah, proud of the accomplishment. This senior class has been a part of some pretty successful football teams the last 4 years, and to get the fourth consecutive conference championship is a lot to be proud of. They've worked very hard, to earn that, and it's not something that's real easy to do, but. Played well and lived up to every challenge in the conference this year. So something they can be proud of.
Yeah, great. Just a tremendous effort by the kids and the seniors. The game came out and they got us on a safety there at the beginning. And I don't know if any of the Busco faithful were worried, but I can tell you guys in the sideline weren't too worried about it. And as soon as they got that safety, you guys drove the ball down. I think Nico had a 50-yard plus run to score, and we never looked back after that.
Yeah, not an ideal way to start off the game. Mishandled the opening kickoff and put us in a very bad situation, and didn't get very many yards on the first play and fumbled the snap on the second play, got a safety. So within a minute are down 2-0, and not the situation you want to be in. Don't have a lot of time to feel sorry for yourself. You need to respond well to that sort of thing, and came back and responded pretty well. I think 3 and out on the defensive side of the ball. Excuse me. So they played real well, and then eventually got things going offensively and moved the ball pretty consistently through the rest of the game.
And defense played pretty well the whole game for you too, Lee. And
yeah, played physical, played fast. Had a couple of lineman issues, that we addressed during film today. But the thing we thought, Lakeland, very impressive football team, and have athletes, have size, and it has had a lot of success this year. One of our advantages probably was, we played in a couple of tough football games the previous 2 weeks, and they played Fairfield, a couple weeks before, but we're fortunate enough to get on them pretty quickly. But we really thought our previous 2 weeks helped us in that football game, and whereas we were probably a little more suited to playing that type of game than what they were, we thought was an advantage.
Yeah, speed-wise, you guys played right up to them and took care of them as it went on. As it went the second quarter, Nicodemus had another five-yard run, I guess, and then and also Lakeland had another score, and then Parker Conrad kicked a field goal there too, and had a real nice drive coming down, set Parker up for that field goal.
Yeah, pretty important score. We playing real well on defense and moving the ball pretty consistently. They hit a whatever it was, an 80-yard touchdown pass on really nice executed play by them. So hats off to them on that, and so they're back in striking distance, and we got the ball and moved it down, and right before the first half, kicked a field goal to go up 17 to I think 9. So a lot more comfortable position being up 8 points there at halftime, as opposed to 5 points. So good job by the offense getting us down there. Good job by Parker kicking the ball.
He's done a pretty decent job for you. He's played for you 3 years, and he seems like he had a pretty good game. Parker did the other
Yeah,
night.
made 5 for 5 extra points, kicked the field goal. Had one real nice punt. Meant to look at that yardage, but didn't. But upper 50s in yardage that got us out of one situation that was relatively poor field position. So did a pretty good job. Important in a game like that to take advantage of all of your opportunities. So 5 for 5 on extra points and kicking the field goal. Right there, that's 8 points that are pretty important in a championship football game.
Yeah, I thought you guys played a great game. Had a great scheme up for him. Nico again, 200 and I don't know what he had, 200 and plus yards and
217 something in that neighborhood. Yeah.
How many times you give him the ball? 29 this time.
27.
27.
Yeah.
He's been the workhorse.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a difficult guy to tackle. So if the defense is in position to make a play on him, well, a good percentage of the time he's going to break tackles and create some things. He's our one guy as much as anybody that can do those types of things. So, yeah, we'll probably give him the ball quite a bit next week too.
Good. Lee, can you stick around? We'll be back and talk about that second half, and then maybe give us some words of wisdom about Joe Zumbrun coming up.
Sounds good.
Okay, very good. Everyone stick around. We'll be right back. Coach will talk about the second half of that big battle against Lakeland for that conference championship, and he'll give us some words about Joe Zumbrun too, so everybody stick around.
I lost my job and I needed help with different things like prescriptions and energy assistance and stuff. So I contacted United Way. They was the first ones that I could think of. And I went to the agencies that they gave me a list of and got the assistance that I needed from them. Because I received the help from United Way, then I'm volunteering my help out to the community, giving the help that they need.
Hey football fans, do you want to keep track of Churubusco High School football games? Log on to busconews.com every game day and watch up-to-the-minute pregame, halftime, and postgame interviews with head coach Lee Etzler. Stay connected with your computer or on your cell phone. busconews.com. When you can't make it to the game, it's the next best thing to being there.
Hey, welcome back to the Lee Etzler Show. Coach, second half, you guys went in and had a little meeting, had halftime talk, and you came out and just pretty much handled Lakeland the rest of the game.
Played real well. Adjusted. Thought our kids did a pretty good job adjusting. They switched things up on defense a little bit the last couple series in the first half, and talked about that a little bit at halftime, and thought our kids going into halftime had adjusted to it. So it wasn't a whole lot to figure out, but played real well up front in the second half. And it's always difficult to block those guys because they're coming from all sorts of different directions and very aggressive, and they play fast on defense. And thought our kids responded that pretty well. And so second half ended up being more of the same that the end of the first half was. So consistently moved the ball, which was good. And then defense played well again. Keeping things in front of them. Gave up a score. We turned the ball over deep in our territory there late and gave up a score, which we're not happy about. But other than that, I thought we played pretty well on both sides of the ball in the second half.
You pretty much held Lakeland down to the lowest points they scored all season. Our defense did.
Yeah, and they're talented. I mean, they have a couple talented halfbacks, a talented fullback. They throw the ball real well. First year this quarterback has started for them, and he's just a junior, and really handles their offense pretty well. Throws a good ball, very poised. Maybe got rattled a little bit Friday night because we got a couple shots on him, but some dangerous weapons. So it's a lot to make sure that our guys are getting lined up correctly, and had a couple mistakes there, especially early, lining up to them and understanding, the position we need to be in to stop the plays they like to run. And, you want to match their speed. And, if we're playing fast, that makes it, a whole lot more stress on them. So did a pretty good job. It's difficult to, they got a long touchdown pass, which, again, great job by them in the first half. And then we kind of felt we gave them a touchdown by turning the ball over well inside our 5-yard line. So, other than that, defense put a whole lot of stress on them.
Great job by your offensive line. Were they running at, was that linebacker blitzing? I know you were talking about that guy was coming there, and you were telling Coos to pick him up.
Yeah, they did some of that, and we look when we're preparing for a team that especially in our conference that we play every year. We'll look back on years worth of film to kind of see how they've defended you and attacked you on offense, and they did some of that, and that was probably back further than what we looked. Hard to prepare for everything, but 2006, 2007, we saw some of what they were doing, so hadn't really worked on it, but our guys picked up on it pretty well and handled things, and if we're ready for what they're throwing at them, then we feel sometimes their aggressiveness can put them out of position, and we can do some damage on the offensive side of the ball. So kind of what happened, couple mistakes here or there, but kind of took advantage of what they were doing, played aggressive, and ran where they weren't at.
You guys did a great job with the penalties this week, Lee. There wasn't a lot of those offensive line penalties, not a lot of that stuff at all. You guys really tightened it up. Had a good week of practice.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know. Sometimes when they happen and why they happen, and for the same reasons, I don't really know why they don't happen. So, as big of a game, if not bigger than what we played the last couple weeks, and why didn't they happen this week and they happened the last couple weeks? I don't know, but kids did a pretty good job, and you talk to them, and maybe they're a little more comfortable in the big game setting to where they're not as anxious and not as eager to get things going, and that's what happens a lot of times. There's so much anticipation for the game that they're just ready to play, and the excitement kind of takes away from their focus of responsibility. So pretty good job on that Friday.
Just a wonderful effort. What does this fourth conference championship mean to you personally, Lee, as a coach, as coach of the Eagles? Is this your 11th season, and this is your fourth? Have we won one before that?
Well, when we were back in divisions in 2002, we won one. One that probably has a little different meaning because of the divisions, and you only played back then 4 conference games, right, as opposed to 8 conference games now. So I don't know, not something. The only thing that we try to do is teach the kids the value of hard work, teach them responsibility and things like that. So when they do a pretty good job for you in that area, and work hard to be good and set goals and work hard to reach their goals and things like that, more than anything, it's about you feel good for the kids because they've achieved that. Look, in the lessons right in front of their face on, look what can happen when you work hard. Look what happened. Looks what happened when you care about the success of the team more than you care about individual achievement. And so as much as anything, that's what we get excited about. And as much as anything, in a big game setting at home, and a lot of alumni type people there with the 50-year reunion. You want that type of game. You want the kids to play well in front of all those people. That builds more excitement for the football program, and then all the steps that are necessary to build the football program makes it a little bit easier. So you got kids that are there, get excited about things like conference championships and go to the game, and get wrapped up in the excitement over those types of things. So more than anything else, as a coach, you're not going to get paid anymore, and right, never have I wanted to be famous or anything like that. So you're happy for the kids, and you're happy that things that you're trying to get across to them are having some success.
You're doing a great job with them, Lee. You really are.
Thank you.
Joe Zumbrun's coming up here pretty soon. Can you give us some words about Joe a little bit?
Yeah, physically wise, has been very valuable to us. The last couple of years. Talked before and probably earlier in the year the value of the outside linebacker position, our defense, and so many things are asked of him as far as being physical, taking on things like kick out blocks and reach blocks and all that sort of thing. While Joe plays out in space quite a bit and cover up the number 2 receiver and reroute him and also get in the face of the quarterback, and a lot of responsibility to do that. And Coach Doc coaches that position and coaches the position pretty hard, so pretty demanding. Every defensive practice, so they put up with quite a bit. So physically very talented, because he's as good at all that stuff as anybody we've had. Starting at that position on the last 2 years on 2 pretty successful defensive teams, a lot to be said for that. Our defense could not have success without very good outside linebackers, and he's definitely a big part of that success. Has worked real hard. Remember there was rumors back when he was younger, freshman, that he's kind of a success story for us because wasn't real fired up. Maybe didn't want to play football when he got in high school, and like a lot of kids do their freshman year, and gets into it, and okay, things aren't quite like I thought they were, and gets involved into the addiction of making themselves better and working toward individual goals and team goals, and he bought into that as much as anybody has, and has improved himself tremendously athletically. Leadership wise, he was voted as one of our captains this year by his teammates, which there's a lot to be said for that, because we have a lot of good candidates for things like that. We're concerned going into the year, before even practice started, that what's the attitude of the kids going to be. This group of kids hasn't seen too many losses in the football program, so without that experience, we used to look back in the last couple of years with the 2010 team, motivation for going in the playoffs. Well, we lost the year before to Adams Central in a game we shouldn't have lost to, so that it seemed like years before there was a big learning point that we could point back to, and this year was a concern. Well, maybe those things are too far away to mean something to these kids, and so we're concerned going into this year about the attitude and the sense of urgency that was necessary to have success this year. And things weren't working real well early in the practice, earlier during two-a-days. Didn't think the kids had some things figured out, and some seniors organized a group to address the team, and Joe was one of the main leaders of that group, and had individual meetings, and things kind of picked up from that point on, and we saw a little more intensity in practice, saw a little more sense of urgency in practice, and like I said, he was one of the main guys that spearheaded that whole effort. So in all phases, athletically, work ethic, leadership, he's been very valuable to our program.
Good. All right, can you stick around, Lee? We'll come back and talk about Oak Hill in a minute.
Sure.
Okay, everybody stick around. We'll be right back to talk with senior captain and defensive outside linebacker Joe Zumbrun.
I lost my job and I needed help with different things like prescriptions and energy assistance and stuff. So I contacted United Way. They was the first ones that I could think of. And I went to the agencies that they gave me a list of and got the assistance that I needed from them. Because I received the help from United Way, then I'm volunteering my help out to the community, giving the help that they need.
Hey football fans, do you want to keep track of Churubusco High School football games? Log on to busconews.com every game day and watch up-to-the-minute pregame, halftime, and postgame interviews with head coach Lee Etzler. Stay connected with your computer or on your cell phone. busconews.com. When you can't make it to the game, it's the next best thing to being there.
Hey, welcome back to Lee Etzler Show. We're here with senior defensive standout and team captain Joe Zumbrun. Joe, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you've had a great season, a great career at Busco. Last Friday night, let me look and see what you had here. On last Friday against in the conference championship, you had a fumble recovery, you had a sack, couple solos, 5 assists. Tell me a little bit about that effort from you guys and the team there.
You know, I think that we just gave it all out. Some things weren't very technically sound, but I think we played a lot more physical than Lakeland did up front. And I think that's what really stood out and made the defense stand out.
You guys kind of got you got a 2-point, or they got 2 points on the safety there, but after that, you guys took it to them and the D held them. You guys pretty much rolled them the rest of the game, Joe. It seemed to me anyway. You guys had them handled.
Yeah, there for a second against on that safety, I was a little scared. Going in already down 0-2, that was pretty scary for me at least from a defensive standpoint.
Yeah. All juniors and seniors on the defensive squad? Is there sophomore? Barkley's a sophomore.
Yeah, Bo Barkley's a sophomore, and Jacob Geiger plays too.
Oh, that's right, sophomore.
He plays some nose guard.
Oh yeah, he does a good job. Pretty solid defense, Joe. You've been a starter outside linebacker for 2 seasons now, and Coach told us earlier that Coach Zach Doc has a pretty demanding, coaches at spots, and he said it's pretty demanding, and he's pretty proud of how you and Tegan have stepped up and played. And how rigorous is that with Coach Doc?
You know, it's constant pounding. It's never. He tries to compliment us if we do anything like excellent, like stand out well, but other than that, it's riding us the whole time.
Doesn't matter what you do, how good you do.
It can always be better. It can always be better.
Doc's pretty cool cucumber. He don't yell much, right?
Yeah, never.
Joe, so this is your you played all 4 years. You played your freshman year. Started last couple seasons. Tell us a little bit about how much work it does take to play for Busco football.
You know, I think that's what makes us completely unique, stand out to any other football program around here. We demand not only on the football field, but in school and in all aspects of life. It really makes you a better person to play at Busco. The coaches bring that to the kids, and the kids buy right into it. Yep.
What do you think about Coach and Doc, and how do you like playing for the coaching staff?
Oh, I love playing for our coaching staff. I don't know if I could really play anywhere else besides here. I mean, they hold us accountable for everything we do, and they push us to always to get better. It doesn't matter how good you are, you can always be better.
Yeah, that's a great philosophy that you learn. Joe, what kind of plans do you have after high school?
Well, I don't really want to play football at all. I don't really want to do any athletics. I want to focus on my academics.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go to Purdue and study engineering.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. So you one of the top 10 or 15, 20 in the class?
I think I'm number 11 or number 10.
Oh, I was close there, wasn't I? Joe, what do you know about Oak Hill upcoming big sectional game against Busco this Friday night?
They present a very challenging lineup for us. They run the ball well. They pass the ball well. They have a kid that has received for like 700 some yards.
Wow.
They have a rusher their fullback is very good. Some of the stuff we've never even seen before. It's going to be a tough game.
You mean some of their offensive stuff you've never seen before?
We've seen most of that. We just haven't seen any players with this kind of ability and everything.
Coach said they had a 6'6" quarterback, man.
Yeah,
now
6'6".
Wow.
Yeah, he's 6'6", 215 pounds.
So he's going to be a big kid to try to get in there and get.
Yep, and most of them play actually 2 ways.
Okay.
Some of them play on offense, most play on offense, most play on defense. And they're tough-nosed. They're just like us.
Wow.
They're going to play hard all 4 quarters.
It's going to be a great game for us. It's going to be a great game. Joe, I appreciate you coming, man.
No problem.
Thank you very much. Sit right there. We'll be right back after this. Everyone stick around. We'll be right back to talk to Coach Etzler about the upcoming big game against Oak Hill this Friday night.
I'm Joe Zumbrun, and you're watching Lee Etzler Show.
I lost my job, and I needed help with different things like prescriptions and energy assistance and stuff. So I contacted United Way. They was the first ones that I could think of. And I went to the agencies that they gave me a list of and got the assistance that I needed from them. Because I received the help from United Way, then I'm volunteering my help out to the community, giving the help that they need.
Hey football fans, do you want to keep track of Churubusco High School football games? Log on to busconews.com every game day and watch up-to-the-minute pregame, halftime, and postgame interviews with head coach Lee Etzler. Stay connected with your computer or on your cell phone. busconews.com. When you can't make it to the game, it's the next best thing to being there.
Hey, welcome back to the Lee Etzler Show. We want to thank Joe Zumbrun for giving us a great interview. He's a great kid, and we wish him well in the future. Coach, what do we know about Oak Hill? Big comp. They're 8-1. We're coming to Busco to play us in the first game of sectional.
Yeah, very, very talented football team. Like you said, they're 8-1, and it's hard to be even an average football team if you have that kind of record. So a lot to contend with. They average 48 points a game, which ranks them 6th in the state for offensive scoring. So obviously, without looking at any film, you understand that there's some talent on the offensive side of the ball. So and then you look at film, and they run some similar formations that we do, some similar motion type things that we do, and have a couple halfbacks that they'll hand the ball off to, pitch the ball to, and have some good athleticism to get out in open space. Fullback went over 1,000 yards last week, 1,100 and something yards rushing with 21 touchdowns. They like to give the ball to him, obviously. Quarterback, very talented kid, 6'6", 215, throws the ball real well. Have one receiver who has almost 800 yards receiving. And I guess all those things aren't surprising, when you talk about their individuals. If you're averaging 48 points a game, you're going to have some talent. So a lot to contend with. I guess you hope when the sectional draw comes out, you might have an easier game or so to recover a week, and it didn't really work out that way this year. But we'll have to work hard, and you guys will have to understand that we don't play well, we'll be one and done in the playoffs. So.
What conference they play out of, Lee?
Central Indiana Conference.
Elwood is in that? Is that whose I read?
Yeah,
or Elwood?
Eastbrook.
Eastbrook, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those
Pretty tough
schools.
conference.
Yeah, they're very competitive. Eastbrook usually wins that conference every year, and I think due to some forfeits last year, didn't win it, and this year Eastbrook might be down a little bit. So I think Oak Hill's tied for second place in that conference.
You said the quarterback 6'6", is that what you said?
Yeah, 6'6", 215, and plays outside linebacker for them, and they have another outside linebacker, 6'5", 225. So there's some talented kids over there. So a lot to contend with, and a lot like it's been the last couple weeks. We're going to have to be pretty focused all week, and stay in front of the things I like to do on offense, and we're going to have to be tough and physical on our side offensively, and move the ball consistently, keep them off the field, cut down on the mental mistakes, and win the physical battle. We've been fortunate enough to do that here the last couple of weeks, so things usually work out pretty well when you win the physical battle.
It's going to be a tough game for us.
No doubt.
Yeah. Lee, thanks a lot for coming. Appreciate you taking your time every week. And everybody else, don't forget this Friday night at home, 7 o'clock, Coach. Is that what time the game starts?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Busco versus Oak Hill. First round is Indiana High School Sectional. Busco's 8-1, just won the conference. It's going to be just another great week to come out and see some great football here at Busco. Don't forget about the pregame, halftime, postgame interviews with Coach. I like that as much as I like doing anything. Everybody else, watch the show Thursday nights, busconews.com, 7:30 p.m. We'll see you.